Hello and welcome. My name is Tabitha MacDonald. I am an intuitive coach and I also have a wellness center where I do body work with chronic pain. Tonight, what we're going to do is a process that I like to use when I have a really hard time getting myself out of the problem and into the solution. Now, I'm an Enneagram 7, so I naturally live in the solution. But sometimes, especially when the problem is bigger, I get very distracted with too many options. And then I also create more problems for myself instead of just doing the thing I know I should be doing. So tonight I am going to invite you to this little mini course on how to solve a problem using neurographic art. Now, I'll preface this by saying I am not someone who has trained professionally in neurographic art, but it is something that I use on a daily basis in order to regulate my nervous system and get me into momentum or into the solution and out of the problem. So, before we begin, you're going to want to have a piece of paper, preferably something that you could fold in half. And then you're also going to want some Sharpies, colored pencils, or pens, whatever your preference is. You can go watch some of the other Neurographica videos about like some of the more strict ways of doing it. I'm going to show you the way that I do it, and I'll leave it up to your good discernment. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to fold this paper in half. So this is just an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper that I pulled from my sketchbook. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a pencil and we're just going to write down the problem. So right now, I am struggling with not having enough renters in the clinic. So I rent out space in my wellness center, and we've had a large challenge filling it with practitioners who are like-minded, who are honest, who operate in integrity. And, I thought I knew how to solve the problem, but I didn't. And so I'm just going to write out like renters in clinic. Now, somatically, I'm going to cue in, like, what am I feeling? I immediately feel a tightness in my chest. So this is the perfect topic. So what we're going to do next is we're going to set the timer for 2 minutes, and you're going to write one word while I ask some questions. So let me have you go ahead and start and take a nice deep breath and just begin to settle into your body. And you'll just say out loud, like, I'm choosing to have a problem getting renters in the clinic because I'm choosing to have problems getting renters in the clinic. And I'm just going to take a deep breath in and let the truth of that settle into my body and pay attention where it is. So I'm just going to start writing now. Keep breathing into it. And if you're going to write words more than once, then you're going to go ahead and write them more than once. If you feel stuck, just say it again. Renters in the clinic. I'm choosing to be stuck getting renters in the clinic because I'm choosing to be stuck to get renters in the clinic. Okay, so that's about 2 minutes. So I'm just gonna kind of like count up how many words that I got. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. There's a lot of repeat words, and I'm just gonna circle them because I can see them repeating. Confusion, stupid, and stupid is the primary one here. Like there's this like repetitive pattern in my brain that keeps saying that I'm stupid. So what I'm going to do without trying to figure out what that means or why it's doing that, we don't need to do that for this. I'm going to bring my awareness to this word stupid. And it is perhaps part of this problem that I've been carrying. So I'm going to put a box here around the problem. I'm going to try to center it the best I can in the center of the page. And I want to think about all those words I just wrote. And you know what? I'm even going to write it in the center of the box. And I'm going to ask myself, what do I think renters in the clinic are going to give me? It's going to give me more income. So I'm just going to write a circle for the thing that I really want. So what I really want is income. And I really like the community. I love having a community of practitioners working together. Um, what else do I think it will give me? I'm hearing the word collective, so I'm just going to write it down without really needing to know what that means to me. And I'm just going to create a couple of other circles. And these just kind of like represent other things I think it will give me that maybe I don't yet know what I think. And over here, I'm just going to kind of draw an open circle that represents the infinite intelligence of the universe. And so I'm going to connect in with that feeling again. So I want to like just go renters in the clinic and just kind of in my head, I want to say stupid, 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 confused, stupid, 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 confused. And I really want to feel the loop of it. And for me, the loop is like is in this box. Right? It feels chaotic. It feels messy. It feels like I keep trying to solve the problem and I keep creating a bigger problem. And so I'm just gonna like I keep getting in my own way. I feel frustrated. I hate feeling stupid. I hate feeling incapable. And I'm just gonna scribble out this problem inside of the box. And it's like, look at the box and just acknowledge that this problem was created inside of a set of thoughts and beliefs that I don't, the same thoughts and feelings cannot be resolved inside of the box because the same consciousness that created the problem cannot uncreate the problem because it only knows how to create more of the problem. So as you're just connect into your body and just and notice how long this problem has been there. Has the problem that you're experiencing been there a long time? Or is it a new problem? And I'll say long time is somewhat relative, but this problem for me really started after COVID and when I stopped teaching massage, because when I taught massage, I could just recruit straight from the college. And when I started not doing that job, I couldn't, hire from the talent pool. I couldn't interview for a year to see if they were reliable, capable. And then after COVID, we lost a lot of our therapists, and um, they closed a lot of the massage schools. So that's all the problem. Right? This is all of my story around this problem that I've been repeating. And then I came up with some new solutions to this problem, and I kept pulling people in who either stole from me, lied, or betrayed me in some way. And so I kind of like stopped trying to pull new people in because I stopped trusting myself with my judgment. So I'm just acknowledging all of this. And so as you're going through yours, I want you to think about this problem and all of the ways you've tried to solve it up until now. And just acknowledge that you did the best you could with the information that you had and the tools that you had at the time. And you're just going to be basically rounding out all of the rough edges. So I'll post a link to some videos that talk about how to do the rounding out, but basically anywhere there's an intersection here, you want to round it out. So where two lines intersect, we're just going to round it out. And what that looks like is where two lines come together. You're going to round it like this, here, here, and here, to just soften the sharpness. And so your lines, when they come like this, it's just going to look like this. And as you do, I just want you to like think about the softness of it. And, you know, also just allow yourself to think. So anywhere there's a line like that, we're going to go ahead and soften it. And then close your eyes for just a second. And I want you to see, like, do you get a visual, a picture, a smell? Is there something that's coming into your mind? I see this like white stick figure. Hunched over, lugging rocks, not going anywhere. I don't need to know what that symbol means right now. I just need to know that it's there. And now I'm just going to breathe into my body, and I'm going to connect back into that feeling. And I'm going to find any more areas in here that needed to be rounded. And if you've never had a Recode before, I'm going to just ask you to go ahead and think about your superconscious as this infinite ability tap of wisdom in the infinite pool of intelligence. And it has a solution that's available to you. But because you have your walls up, and that's where you think you know how it needs to be resolved, or you think that there's only one way to solve it, it can't get through to help you get into what you really want. And so what we want to do is just acknowledge that we've tried to solve this problem from inside this container, and it's not working. And it doesn't matter what your problem is, if it has to do with your love life, your health, if it has to do with your income or a career, maybe your boss is a jerk. Like, it doesn't matter what the problem is, whatever this problem is, we just have to acknowledge that right now we don't know the solution to this problem. Now, your infinite being of intelligence, your superconscious, probably has a solution that you haven't yet considered. Inside this box, there's the phoenix, a powerful, intelligent, ancient being. But it doesn't know that it's trapped. So it keeps trying and trying and trying to solve this problem from inside this container. It flies, it pushes, it searches, and every time it hits the walls of the box again and again and again and again, until eventually it exhausts itself and it burns. Not because it's weak, but because it's using its power to keep creating the problem. Your mind does the same thing. It tells you think harder, figure it out, replay it again and again, but it cannot give you the solution, can only give you more of the same pattern. And this doesn't have to be true to all of you just yet. I just want you to pretend, if you could pretend for a moment, that maybe there's a solution that you haven't yet thought of that might bring you all of the things that you really want. And so what we're going to do is have you give your superconscious, this higher infinite being of intelligence, permission to access your field of awareness so that you can have a solution that will bring you the highest good for your life. And as you're rounding these out, your little edges here, you can say out loud or to yourself, I release the need to solve this from the same level of thinking that created it. I soften the patterns that keep me stuck, and I am no longer confined to this identity. I am open to creative solutions that I have not yet considered. And then just feel what that feels for you. That actually creates a different sensation in my chest. I actually feel more panicked at that moment of saying that. It's curious. I'm going to close my eyes again and see what I see. This time I see the white stick figure hunched over, lugging rocks, going nowhere, and an ominous being offering me a fake solution. Like it's trying to manipulate me. It's got its hands behind its back. And its fingers are crossed. With an evil grin. So we're gonna just do, you can write up here superconscious, you can write in the universe, whatever that is. So what we're going to do next is we're going to acknowledge that what is it that I really want? I really love to increase the income on the clinic, but mostly what I love is community. I love the collective energy of bringing healers together, and I love healing. I love working in the healing arts. I love it. It brings me joy. It brings me purpose. It brings me this deep sense of satisfaction. It brings me this feeling of like meaning. So I'm going to put the circles around about the experiences that I know I want. And then very slowly, also going to put in here safety. Because that is one of my top feelings. Oh, also, I want to feel a deep sense of like peace. Okay, so if this problem was resolved, how would you feel? And we're just going to let these circles hold the feelings, and we don't need to even name them all. If you don't know the feeling that you want, then we're just going to go ahead and leave that. So we're just going to draw like a little imaginary container over here, that there is a solution outside of that box. There's probably more than one solution. So I'm going to put them all around it. And we're going to put this one over here. And I'm not going to write in what it is. So now I'm going to begin this spiral inside of the box. And I'm just going to think about a moment in time where I had a problem before that I didn't think was solvable. And I figured it out, or there was a miracle that came into my life. And what did that feel like when I trusted myself, when I felt like I was being fully supported, that I just knew the solution, even though maybe it didn't make sense. So I'm just going to spiral it out. We're just going to untangle it. And as we're untangling it, we might come off the page a little bit. And we're just going to go ahead and sit with the spiral for a second. What if the moment you stop hitting the walls and choose something new, what if the solution exists outside of the box? What if I'm allowed to access it now? What if I no longer need to suffer to solve this old problem? And now what we're going to do is we're just going to start softening the spiral. And we're going to ask your superconscious to identify where all of the resistance is in your field. Resistance to seeing this a new way, the resistance to trusting that you already have the answers within you, the resistance to solving it. Like, just kind of ask yourself, is there a part of you that likes to have this problem in your life? And don't judge it, just see what comes up for you. And is this problem, this sensation, is it playing out anywhere else in your life? Is there another area in your life where you have felt frustrated, like you couldn't solve the problem? And just kind of notice, are there any patterns that are playing out for you right now? And you really don't need to come up with an answer. We're just engaging all levels of consciousness in a conversation about this problem. And have you tried to solve this problem before? And if you tried to solve it, what happened? Why is it still a problem? Were there any decisions that you made that were familiar patterns to you? And just notice the thoughts without having to be the thoughts. So whatever thoughts are coming up, just allow them to be there. As we just kind of weave these circles in to this spiral. Now you might not have as many circles as I do because I just started writing them as I was going. Maybe you might have 1 circle or 2 circles. But I want you to just imagine that the phoenix could actually leave the box. So let's find one of these jagged lines. And as the phoenix leaves the box, it does not die. It transforms and it rises. And above you, beyond you, and around you, your superconscious has always been watching. It already sees the solution. It already knows the path. So we're going to pull the energy down from the superconscious. But it could not reach you. Through the walls of resistance. Through the noise of the mind. Through the emotional loops. And through the patterns of the problem. But as you let everything soften and you let go of the need to know and you surrender the emotion of how you think it needs to be or what you think you should do, you just witness. And if you were allowed to know what this problem was giving you, what has it been giving you? And you might hear a word. The first word I heard was safety, which is strange because I don't find having an empty clinic very safe at all. But there must be something in my field that says it's safer to be alone. That's interesting. So just notice if any words come up for you, or if you become aware of any sensations in your body. Now, I will say the more I do this, the more of an impulse I have or desire I have to leave. And as soon as you have that desire to leave, it's the part of your brain that does not want you to solve this problem. And we're not going to judge it, we're just going to acknowledge that that's normal, because we're asking our brain to think of a new solution. As we continue drawing in and pulling in new energy, I'm actually going to pull it out this time. What if this was all part of my healing journey? And there's a solution inside of the problem. What if this is a collective problem? Or maybe I'm not alone in it. What if I could just feel safe knowing that I'm supported and protected? And so as we're doing that, I'm just going to pull the problem out. Any patterns, beliefs, identities, or emotional loops that keep me trapped inside the problem. I now release, recode, reorganize, and restructure at the root level. I separate from the thoughts that created this. I separate from the emotions that maintain this. I return to a state of curiosity and neutrality. From neutrality, I become available to truth. Superconscious, please treat all states of confusion, scarcity, and lack that have kept me trapped in this pattern of fear. Please treat this across all time, dimension, space, and realities. And just take a deep breath in. And just let your mind do what it wants to do without needing to control anything. Just let it go. Maybe you can focus on some of the words that you wrote down. What does peace feel like in my body? Superconscious, anywhere I went at war with myself, please treat across all time, dimension, space, and realities. You can draw in some new neural lines, and there's lots of videos online that will talk about the different types of neural lines. So if you don't know what I'm doing, don't overthink it. There's some ways to do it, but you can go watch some of those videos, and I'll go ahead and put some links below. I didn't want to teach the basics of this because I'm not great at teaching the basics. I just know the processes that work to help me get unstuck. So anywhere there's two lines that are meeting, I'm just going to go ahead and pull them in. Now you could probably see this one's going to take a little bit of time. I would say if you are doing this for the first time, you might want to do like less bubbles. And I just want you to acknowledge that this might not look pretty, but that's okay because neither is living in a problem. We're just going to keep rounding these out. And as you do, you just pay attention to the truth. Because in truth, meaning when we're not emotionally attached to the outcome, the answers come through. And sometimes it's our own fear or our own past failures that are blocking it. Superconscious, please treat past failures. Please treat all family beliefs inherited in this lifetime and past lifetimes. Please treat all emotions that are preventing the truth from coming through and also from being able to take action with the truth. Please treat all humiliation from past failures. Please treat all identity level beliefs. And just pay attention to your body as you're coloring each one. And just notice, has anything changed? Do you feel any shift in your body? Like, I no longer have that tight feeling in my chest. I'll tell you that's gone. Now it's kind of this strange sinking feeling in my stomach. And I'm going to just pay attention to that feeling. I'm going to close my eyes. And now I see the white stick figure, but it's like fading in and out. And the manipulative one is white. It's white, which actually makes me more afraid because I can't see it anymore, which to me makes it feel more dangerous. My hypervigilance settling down. Okay, so just keep breathing in. Don't forget to breathe as you're doing this. Just going to connect back in with the superconscious and ask it to just go ahead and begin creating the perfect treatment plan in the perfect way. We don't need to know all of the resistance for the resistance to be treated. We can just allow the superconscious to do its job. And I have another video on the Superconscious Recode instructions. If you've never seen it, I'll put a link down below. You should watch it so that you have a full understanding of what the Superconscious is and the instructions. But even without using the Superconscious work, this process works so gently and so effectively. I have noticed that since I started doing this, like, I feel like I have a tool finally where I can communicate with my nervous system in a really calm way, where it helps me remove the emotional charge behind things and just lets me kind of like tap into the intuitive knowledge that my body is trying to communicate in a way that nothing else has. It also has strengthened my intuition, and built a much better relationship with some quality me time. So, like, obviously, if you're someone who's busy and you don't have a lot of time, there's a shorter version of this. And I'll start posting more of these videos because I think that to me, this is like one of the best ways to just get to know yourself and to work through some of the BS that we have. You know, I've done coaching, thought work, intuitive and spiritual healings, you know, science healing, energy healing for a very long time. And all of the different modalities work. It's the one that you get the best results with is the one that you're going to stick with. And the one that's for you at the right time. So sometimes, you know, this is the thing that you need, and then sometimes it's meditation, and sometimes it's somatic work like movement, and sometimes it's going to be hypnosis, and sometimes it's going to be tapping, and sometimes it's going to be something else. And what I have found for me is that this is the one where when I'm really stuck, Neurographica helps me just get out of my head and back into the solution. I was always a solutions person until probably until COVID, and that's when I really started seeing problems over solutions. And it was almost like I kept saying to people, I was like, I think my manifestor broke during COVID because all I ever seemed to do is manifest more garbage in my life, and not the kind of like success that I knew before COVID, which was strange because I always felt like I could get out of any problem. And then it just stopped being that way. And there's many reasons why that I won't go into right now. But if you listen to my podcast, you'll know some of my journey, especially recovering from narcissistic abuse and big traumas and little traumas and everything in between. And it required me to come up with a whole new set of tools to heal my own brain. Um, and then also, like later in life, anxiety caused by major life changes. Like, had a lot of um, breakups and endings, and things in relationships that stopped working for me. And just a lot of betrayal trauma in the last decade, which is not something I really knew how to process before. And I think that it's kind of like when you have to learn how to process new things, you need new tools. Because sometimes the pain is so big that you're like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to get through that. And for mine, it was, a divorce and then a big heartbreak and then the kids getting old and moving out and, just that empty nest transition. So it was a lot of identity changing for me. And I needed to find tools that worked for me in this stage of life because I didn't need them in the different stages of my life. And I also did not value art, and I barreled through everything when I was younger because I was so in survival that I just was like, I'll save this all up for later until later came. And then it felt like my life was falling apart, but really it was just, oh, remember all the baggage you stored up when you were younger? Yeah, that's like all at the surface now. So I don't know if you can relate to that. Um, but in my work with people and healing, I noticed that a lot of people were thinking that things were falling apart, but it was just that they had so much baggage that they didn't quite yet know how to process it because we just didn't have the skills, and everything changed pretty quickly during COVID. Like, we went from having a lot of certainty, I think, in the world to not having any, and then feeling a little bit powerless. And then with that, technology has been changing our world very, very quickly. And so, for some of us, especially those of us who didn't really work with technology, it became quite a struggle because things that used to work stopped working. And it's just been an interesting time to be alive in history. So, what we're going to do is you're just going to continue rounding out and pulling in lines. And I will say, like, as a recovering codependent, and I don't usually say that or identify that way, but I spent the good portion of my life being codependent, and I either married addicts or had narcissistic partners or people who were with strong control patterns. That choosing to be single the last few years has brought up its own issues because I didn't know how to get to know myself. And I also had a really mean person who lived in my head most of the time. Um, so we're just going to keep rounding this out. And I really didn't want them living in there anymore. So this has really helped me get to know myself, like having this, I call it my quality time, because one, I'm doing something that's creative, so it's engaging both parts of my brain, and turning that voice off in my head that tells me, I'm doomed and I should just prepare for death now, which, is not a good thing. Not like a suicidal voice, but it's just kind of like shut down, go watch Facebook and go hide until until the war is over. Which war? Who knows? So anyway, so then we're gonna just pull in some new lines, and I want you to just think about how you feel right now. And do you feel calmer? Like if you had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling now? And right here, I see that there's another solution. Ooh, that might bring me some joy. Could go for some of that. Ooh, and I might have more purpose in that solution. And perhaps I might have more satisfaction as well. And, you know, I live my life largely because of the meaning that I want to have and the impact on the community and the world. So that's kind of a higher intelligence thing. So we're just going to go ahead and round in these new lines. Anytime you bring in new lines, you want to make sure you round them in and connect them. And if you're getting sleepy, that's normal. And I'm just going to invite you to be aware of, like, do you notice, are you getting agitated and you just want to get this over with? I just saw myself doing that and I was like, ooh, we don't really like sitting in the discomfort, do we? Nope. And then we can ask, our higher selves, like, is there a lesson for us here that we're not able to see? Like, how is this here to help me grow? Or who is this here to help me become? Is there a way that this is happening for my highest and best good? And it doesn't always have to have a reason, but sometimes if it's a repeating pattern, it can have a reason behind it. And you might hear like a song, or you might hear see an image, you might get another form of communication. Some people will get like a smell. Maybe they'll see a picture flash in their eyes about a certain person. Don't try to overthink it. You can write it down if you want. Just make sure you find all those lines and round them out. Like, since I'm in purpose right now, I'm going to be like, oh, what else gives me purpose? I have an online business that also is aligned with my purpose. My family gives me purpose. Being of service gives me purpose. That's where I derive a lot of purpose from, is being of service. And I also really like teaching. So when I have a full clinic, it's fun because we all get to learn together. And I love having this place of high integrity, this business of high integrity in a place where not everyone gets to work with integrity. I love that. Integrity is a big thing to me. So, and then I'll think, oh, where am I not in integrity with my own business? Maybe I'm not in integrity somewhere. And that's why I can't grow, because I'm not in alignment with my own values. Or where am I like still holding on to this problem instead of letting the problem go? So I'm just going to take a deep breath, and I'm just going to kind of notice the picture, notice how it feels kind of chaotic. And that's kind of the energy that I've been living in for quite some time. And so I just want you to think about how you feel right now. It's connect in with your nervous system. And I just want you to think that like I'm available to solutions beyond my current awareness. And I trust what I cannot yet see. I allow my higher self to guide me because we are one. So I'm just going to pull that in there. Don't have to go all the way. Let the neurographic lines like just kind of go where the energy wants them to. This is where you get to learn to just be in flow and not try to control where they go. This is not about aesthetics. So I'll just say that. And then I'm going to just pull this line out because it just wants to kind of come to the edge of the paper. Because there's a way to make this problem dissolve. All right, so I'm gonna just pull this over here. I live my life by a set of values, and purpose is one of the highest ones. Okay, so just pay attention to what you're feeling in your body. Breathe in. Just notice, has it changed at all? I'll close my eyes again, and I'm gonna look in that picture. I see a little girl in a big chair. And she's holding a teddy bear. Santa is behind her. But she has her eyes clamped shut. She's scared. Interesting. Okay, so now we're just gonna pause and notice what shifted. Not just in the drawing, but inside of you. Like I feel a lot more flowy air going from inside. I don't feel as restricted or constrained. And I just want to say that the Phoenix did not solve the problem by trying harder. That's what kept it burned out and burning. It solves the problem by simply dissolving the box. And you're no longer trapped in the box, in the mind that created the problem. You are connected to something greater. Take a deep breath in, and now we're going to add some color. And I'm going to let you intuitively just pick whatever color you feel called to pick. For me, I'm going to do some green here because the green to me represents the heart chakra, meaning like, how can I love this problem a little bit right now? And I'm just going to trace this shell. Now, the rule of thumb with coloring is that you get 2 segments the same color. Now, if you're just starting out, try to limit your colors a little bit because we are working with, a part of the mind that can get overwhelmed with too much change. So I would say start with fewer solutions and, fewer colors, just to make it a little bit more easy on yourself. And just allow yourself to play though, and just to let go of how it should be, and just allow yourself to create something new. Just feel the difference between forcing a solution and just being open to something more magical. Maybe something that's going to actually free your energy up. Like, what would that be like if you were allowed to call in something new? And maybe something is shifting for you. Or maybe it's not. Maybe you just couldn't see the solution because of the past. So you're just gonna keep coloring. And I'm gonna pull in some purple because that's a really calming color. And there's all different kinds of, um, there's all different kinds of, I forget what these are called, drawing utensils, coloring crayons. You can use watercolor pencils. Some people go crazy and they have like really expensive pens and pencil sets. I have this set I got from like Amazon that was just really affordable. I think it was this Schultz art set, like 180 pencils. I think it was less than $20. Um, you can use Crayola ones. It's up to you. And, once the process is complete, like you don't need to keep these. I like keeping them because I can go look back and think back to the things that I was struggling with. And then I can see how things get easier over time. And there's so many different ways to use Neurographica. I've used it to get over heartbreak, to help me connect in with intuitive eating and lose weight. I've used it to reduce pain from physical injuries. And I've used it to think about what I want to grow, what I want to call in. How I do goal setting has completely changed because of this. So just continue to kind of take some deep breaths and think about some solutions that maybe you haven't thought about yet. So I'm going to color this one up here. Now, I use a lot of kinesiology testing to communicate with my superconscious. So if you've never done that, I'll like a solution just came in. I should call the local massage school to see if they have any new graduates that would like to come and do a mentorship. That's a yes. So I'm gonna put call the massage school. And then I'm just gonna connect in with that feeling of peace. Pull that into this. And just notice, like you'll have resistance that comes up, and it might be um you just needs maybe a couple more times, and maybe like one that's not so big. Maybe it needs to be smaller. So I'm gonna come in and pull some new colors in here. I love the color blue. It's one of my favorite colors. So I'm gonna come over here to this feeling of healing. Love working in the healing arts. It's such a joy. It is such a beautiful gift to be able to help people on their healing journey. Like I'm so grateful my soul led me there to that space and just to the experience of getting to help people. I can like honestly, even through all of the struggles, I can't think of anything more beautiful than getting to have an impact on people and the lives, on their lives, and to help facilitate a process of healing and transformation has been a true gift. And so I'm just gonna like pull this feeling in here. Take it. And I never intended to be a massage therapist, which is funny. I wanted to be working in e-commerce and marketing. I worked for a big corporation, and during the '08 crash, I got laid off. And by happenstance, coincidence, or divine synchronicity, I followed my heart, which I didn't even know I was doing at the time. I moved to England, and I needed a visa to stay in the country, and I found a massage school that would give me everything I needed. And I fell in love with it. Like, it was never something I thought that I would do for a living. I mean, I didn't even really like touching people. I just wanted a visa, and it worked. And I actually left massage and then came back to it because I felt that tug again, and it was like it was always calling to me, and it has brought me so much joy over the years. When you have someone who's in a lot of pain and you can help walk them to the other side of it, there's just something beautiful between you and this other person. And you know that it was their body, right, that knew how to heal. And but to be able to help them on that journey, give them answers maybe that they didn't have before. Like it's such a beautiful thing. So when you're thinking about your problem and you're thinking about the solution, and what do you love about this whole experience? Like, what's coming up for you right now? Like, if it's about money, what do you love about having more money? Like, I love going to Disneyland. Like, oh, I just miss the freedom that I felt before COVID when I could just go to Disneyland and Hawaii. And I loved teaching moms how to make a good living doing massage. I loved mentoring. I loved, and having this group learning environment. I loved all of it. So just think about what you love. And then just take some deep breaths. And I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to check in on my picture again. Okay, the little girl is standing on the big chair. And now she's looking at Santa. And he has his finger over his lips like he has a secret. In like a really innocent way, like a really kind of fun and playful way. And I don't need to know what that means yet. So I like to feel safe in the world. So I'm gonna go ahead and color this in with some orange. Orange reminds me of the sacral chakra. It's where I feel like when I'm connected, I feel safe. So I'm just gonna color in that feeling and just connect in with that feeling of safety. Sometimes being in a problem for a long time makes us feel not safe. So this might be a good time to just connect in with like when have you felt safe? Like when do you feel safe? Or whatever thing that you wrote down. I'm just gonna keep coloring until all the color is in. I'm just gonna surround myself with this warm blanket of safety. And now I really think of like higher consciousness as this kind of like divine color, like purple. So I'm gonna color my superconscious in with this divine light, this just like purple energy. I'm gonna pull that down to surround it with just this this feeling of magic and alchemy. You know, like when you were little and you believed that anything was possible. Like that feeling of total innocence when you look up at a beautiful sunset and you just remember like how big the world is in the universe. Or maybe when you look up at the night sky and you see all of the beautiful stars shining and you're reminded about the infinitism of it all, like the bigness of it and how much we don't know about anything, even though we think we do. And I'm gonna pull more love into this, love energy, because green is like love to me. So whatever that is for you, I invite you to be very intuitive with your color selections because what is love? Like I never associated with green with love until I started doing more chakra work and connecting in with like the chakra system and understanding that green is like this the heart energy, the heart field. So, but like if love to you is like this pink color, then use pink or whatever emotions you had. Maybe love wasn't part of it. Maybe it was something else for you. So I'm gonna come up over here. And then, I'm just really loving joy. And yellow is kind of like it's the solar plexus. So it's where a lot of our stuck emotions get trapped. And it's also where our um yeah, our emotions, the energy of emotion can get trapped in the solar plexus, can be the root of a lot of anxiety and worry. So we're just going to go ahead and color in. I usually do a much more thorough job. I'll show you an example of something else, just so you can kind of see what it would look like. And I'm going to close my eyes. It's really interesting. It's no longer Santa. I see me standing and talking to my higher self, like old friends. And so now what we're going to do is we're just going to pull in some energetic lines that just kind of represent the universal life force energy. And we're going to make these big. And like if you're religious, you could pull in like a religious figure. If you're not, you could just say, I surrender this to the divine intelligence of the universe. Or if you have a spirit team that you like working with, like I'll say like, oh, Michael, come on in. Archangel Michael, come in and cut all of the cords that are energetically tying me to the past and call in new energy to this problem I've been having for a long time. And then I'm going to just start kind of rounding everything out. So we want to pull those lines into the creation the same way that we did all the other ones. And this is just like asking the divine intelligence of the universe for love and support on this journey. And to send us some signs and synchronicities that help make sure that we know the right solution. You can even ask for a sign or a synchronicity, like a certain number, a color. For Soma, for my massage clinic, I usually ask the universe to send me a very specific sign or symbol. And this is where you get to like actually engage and ask for synchronicities to let you know that you're on the right path. And they might send you like repeating number patterns. Um, you might, have someone drive by and they have like this a bird or something, and it's like a little nod from the universe saying, "Hey, we got your message. We're working on it." Like, or right now is the time, call them right now, or be here, be there. When I first started working with signs and synchronicities, I felt like I got them all of the time. And then it was like this beautiful way of just kind of getting, an affirmation that, yeah, you're on the right path. Like, yes, this is where you're supposed to be. And this is the thing that you need to do. I think it's a fun way. I like to say flirt with the universe. Like, at least my experience has been that it's often very playful and generous. It's us who does not, receive generosity well. Um, Usually my things are only blocked when I'm doing the blocking, or there's like a something better coming that I didn't even know, but maybe the person wasn't aligned yet, so then there was a waiting period. This happens a lot when we're working with love. Like you might be ready, but maybe your person's not ready. And so you might feel impatient, but then, the universe is like, hey, we got somebody better for you, but you got to wait a little while. So that can be like that, or oh, we need you to do this thing first. You don't know why I need you to do it, but I need you to do it. And then it'll make sense later. Because intuition normally doesn't make any logical sense. Like, what I have found is it tends to not follow the normal rules that I've created about how things should be going. And so if I'm working with manifesting and it's not coming true, it's either because of timing or I haven't done the thing I need to do to make it work. So, um, like I did actually get the intuition to call this school a little while ago and to see if they had any new graduates coming out. So I'm going to ask the universe for more specificity on timing so that I make sure that we have the right person coming in. Um, and so I'm getting a date in my head. I'm going to go ahead and write it down and put it on my calendar. But I'm also just going to kind of ask for a reminder so that I remember to call when it's time. Yeah, so this is how we do it. So we just pull those lines in. And then I want you to just think about the problem that you were having earlier and how do you feel about it now? I'm going to ask for a message. I got business is a bold adventure of personal transformation and purpose. Enjoy the adventure, which is funny because I got this um, from B.F. Chang's and I have it up here, which is a career changes in your future. And so what I'm kind of hearing is I have a date to call the school, and then to just keep sharing more of these tools with the people because I really do have this huge library of resources and tools to help you get out of your thinking brain and into your intuition, into your solutions. And this is, what I do with my online membership, and this is, what I do with a lot of my clients in person, especially when they're struggling with pain, chronic pain, because I think, especially in today's world, chronic pain can feel unsolvable. And even earlier, I was having back pain, and I was like, okay, well, I know back pain is money related, um, and pizza related. And so since I've been doing both those last couple of weeks, my guess is I need to address the root cause of the back pain. And it was just this like stuckness on, how to get some tenants, and feeling like I was really stuck in the answer, not knowing when to take action, or, when to grow or when to wait. So I hope you enjoyed this experience. My name is Tabitha. You did not see my face, but if you watch my YouTube channel, there will be plenty of them. I don't know where to put my finger. Anyways, like and subscribe to my channel, and I will be posting more content like this. If you know anyone who would benefit from learning how to do this, please share this video with them and leave a comment below. Did you get a solution? Did you see your sign or synchronicity in the real world? And if you did, tell me about it. Because if the more I get feedback about, yes, this is content that we like, then I will post more of these videos, to just be more helpful to the world right now. I'm also going to invite you to try out my membership. It's only $1 for your first month, and after that it's a really, really great price for people who come through this channel. So I'm going to put in the $1 offer for a month. Try it. After that, it's only $44 a month, as opposed to the normal like $97 a month. Which you get weekly coaching calls with me. You get intuitive feedback, live every week. You can ask questions on coaching, or, to get guidance past your firewall. I also do a lot of goddess meditations and journeys, and personal transformation and development work. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, I'd love to see you in the tribe. I'll put a link down below in the comments. But otherwise, just enjoy the content, like and subscribe to the channel. And I hope to hear from you. I really want to hear your solution and how this panned out for you. So I hope you have a great day, night, whatever time it is in the world, and you'll be hearing from me soon. Thank you. Thank you for your attention. I know this was kind of a long video, and I do know how valuable your attention is, and there's many places where you could put your attention. And I want to just tell you, I appreciate that you put your attention on you for a moment and trying to do something new to come up with an old problem. Oh, a solution to an old problem. And I forgot the last part. We just have to ask your superconscious to ground all of the changes into your field, so that they can go ahead and take place. Yeah, so just superconscious, please ground all memories we touched today, including memories 1, 2, and 3. Return them to the matrix of the universe. Thank you. With that, many blessings to you. Have a great day.